Alright guys, so this is another Patreon request that comes from Jonathan Bermudez. As always, if you would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, and hit the 4th tier, where not only will you be able to send me a request to do anything, you can also you can also check out the exclusive content over on Patreon. That's where my review for The Northman is. That was the new Viking movie that came out. Anyway, let's get into it with a movie. Jonathan Bermudez asked me to do a movie review of a movie well known. It's been out for a few years. I think this came out in 2009, 10ish, somewhere in the 2010s. And that movie is a little film called What We Do in the Shadows. Now, I'm not talking about the TV show. I'm talking about the original movie. That, for lack of a better word, not only it basically started Taika Waititi's career. Like, it literally, like, that. This is the movie. Now Taika had done other films. Like, Taika Waititi had done other films and projects in a while. But we can all point to What We Do in the Shadows as the defining. This was his big breakout. This is what got him Thor Ragnarok. This is what got him Jojo Rabbit. This is what got him to do Mandalorian. This is what got him to do literally all these big projects. Like, this is the film that this is like the defining career thing for why Taika became like Taika Waititi became a household name. Like, this is the film that started it all. And yeah, now for those who don't know what this movie is, or you've only seen the TV show and never seen the movie, What We Do in the Shadows is set across the world, and I believe New Zealand. I think it's New Zealand or Australia, but essentially what it is 3 vampire roommates who are filmed in a documentary type story in the everyday life. It's more, and they bite a new person who kind of introduces them to the new world, because the 3 vampires are essentially like, they're still old world. Like, they don't know much about the rest of the world. Like, they don't understand it. Like, they don't understand it, and they just kind of exist. So this new guy they bite teaches them how to use the internet, shows them what the sun is like, things like that. It's a fun movie. Like, there's really, like, the thing about this movie is that it's been out for a while, so there's not really much I can really say. Like, the movie has been out for like a long time, for like several years, and there's not much else I can say other than it's a really good vampire movie. You have to understand, by this point with vampire films, is that Twilight had kind of killed a lot of the vampire hype by this point, and all we really had for a good vampire movie at the time was 30 Days of Night, and then nothing else. Like, there were a few vampire movies here and there, but nothing really broke the mold. Here was a movie that was not only just pretty much fun, it also brought back a lot of life, for lack of a better word, into the vampire genre. And there was just some great comedic timing in here. Like, Taika shows in this film that this movie shows how good of a comedic actor he can be as a director too. He can also be he's also an excellent comedic director as well. He also knows when to stop with comedy and start with drama. Like, there's a great scene where one of the vampires, Peter, gets killed, and they're all and it's a great moment. I mean, yeah, it does kind of go to a weird, funny vampire banishment thing that's not really much. Because the thing is like, the best way to describe What We Do in the Shadows, for me at least, like, the best way I can describe What We Do in the Shadows is literally, imagine if Ed, Edd n Eddy were vampires. Like, that's literally what it is. It's Ed, Edd n Eddy, but with vampires. But instead of scamming people for money, they're just trying to get food. And yes, they are killing and eating people. They don't shy away that the fact that these guys, even though, like, they like humans, I mean, they do want to eat humans, but, like, at the same time, they like being around humans, but they also eat them. They also drink their blood, and there's some pretty violent moments in here. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It is definitely a funny movie. I think like I said earlier in this review, is that the best way to describe this movie is like if you wanted to see the film or the project that got Taika Waititi to be such a big name in Hollywood, you go back and look at this movie, and you can see all the building blocks for like Thor Ragnarok, for Jojo Rabbit, for Free Guy. Well, he starred in Free Guy, he wasn't in there, but Mandalorian, for literally everything. Like, literally everything going forward is all because of this movie. And yeah, even the TV show, which is a lot of fun too. That movie, that TV show, just real quick if you're interested, is set in the same universe as this, but it's set in New York. So, and those characters from this movie show up in there. It's so much fun. This movie is just tons of fun. I recommend it. If you're looking for like a fun, like, vampire story, if you're looking for like just a fun vampire story, just a fun comedy movie, yeah, this is it. Like, there's also, like, they also talk about like werewolves, there's also stuff with zombies. They also go into like what it's like being a vampire. Like, sometimes it just sucks. Like, it just sucks being a vampire. And pun not intended. But yeah, sometimes it just flat out sucks being a vampire. Like that. And yeah. Anyway. So, not a big review, probably because, like I said, this movie's been reviewed so many... Like, this movie's been out for so long. You guys have probably... A lot of you have probably seen it. And there's not really much I can add to it. I just wanted to give my... just wanted to do this quick review for Jonathan, who I would like to thank for sending me this Patreon request. Jonathan Bermudez, thank you for this video. But yeah, if you've seen what we do in the shadows, comment below, let me know. And as always, like I said, if you haven't already, hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where you too could get a Patreon request done by me. And also, like, check out the exclusive content over on Patreon as well. But other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.